Okay, so today we'll be working on how to make natural sauce. So the first thing first, we have to dissolve our lye and water together. So this is the water, distilled water that we'll be using, and then the scale, and this is my lye. Don't mind me, this is where I store my lye. It's best stored in the airtight container like this. That is a thick container, so that to avoid it caking together or water touching into it. So let's get started. This is my spatula, my cups. Okay, so now first thing first, when you want to use your scale, you put it on, and then you put it on. So when you want to, by the time you want to use your bowl to measure your lye or your water, now immediately you put it on it. Now mine is showing 0 because it's tarred. But sometimes when you put it, let me use this one. Let me use this one since I want to use it to measure. Let me turn this to 0. I don't know if you can see it properly. So I've turned it to 0. By the time I put it on now, it's going to show the weight of this cup. It's going to show the weight of this cup, which is 168 grams. But since I don't want this weight of this cup to reflect on the weight of what I'm measuring, so you're going to tar your scale to 0. So thereby, whatever you're pouring in is going to be the exact weight, not the weight of the cup. So now, let's get back. I'm going to tar this now to 0. I'll put in this bowl. It is 152 for the weight of this bowl. So because I don't want it to reflect when I'm measuring, I'm going to tie it to 0. So it is now on 0. Now, it is advisable that when you want to formulate your soap, you write out the weight of your ingredients out in a paper like this. Write it in a paper like this, and then you can be able to check them as you're measuring and then measure them out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to measure my lye, and it is 66.6 gram. So I'm going to measure 66. Please be careful with this lye, because when it gets in contact with your skin, it can burn the skin. Still on 27. I think this is not scooping fast as I wanted. I'm coming. I'm going to replace it with this spoon. So 61, 66. Now it's on 68 because I made it a round figure for 68. No, it's reading 69. I have to reduce it now. 67. So it's on 67 now. I made it a round figure to be 67 grams. I'm going to cover it right now. So what we're going to do is set it aside, and then I had measured my water. Let me tie it. I've measured my water here. My water is 137.7 grams, but I'd measured it out without recording it. So now the next step is to now add my lye into this water. Now you shouldn't add water to lye. You should add lye to water. It can cause an explosion if done that way. So now, in order to now add this lye to your water, you add it gently and then stir. You add it gently and stir it. Now, it's advisable to do this when the kids are not around, and also it's advisable to use a face mask in order to prevent you from inhaling the fume that is coming out from the lye. mixture with the water. Now I've gotten everything into the water. Now I'm going to stir. Now the temperature, if you feel it when you're making yours, you will notice that the temperature is high, it is hot. So it's advisable to use, when you want to now add your it's advisable to let this light water to, you can see it's mixed, but you will not leave it, you leave this light water to settle down, to cool down rather. Let it cool down, and then you go back and then melt your oils and butters. By the time you are done with that, your light water would have cooled down, and then you'll be ready to soap. Now another thing is that to know whether your water is safe, I mentioned the temperature at which the water should be cooled before adding into your oils. Another thing is that when you want to add your sodium lactate to your cold light water, it is when it is cold, not when it is hot like this. You add it when it is cooled down, and then you add your sodium lactate to the cold light water. So I'm going to set this aside and then come back when it is cooled down, and then melt my oils and butters, and then come back and show you how to make this soap properly. Thank you. Okay, so now I'm back. So I've melted the oils. Now I've melted the oils, and it includes the shea butter, coconut oil, the palm kernel oil that we've discussed in the soap calculator. So what I did was that getting it in liquid this way, I did it in double boiling method, which is by placing it in a bigger pot that has water, and then I put on my source of heat, and then allow it to melt like this. This is best so that we won't be able to damage our oils. So now my light water is here as usual, and then this is the digital scale I mentioned. So this is how it is. You can see when it is on, then it gives you accurate measures. So now this is the stick blender. This is stick blender. This is stick blender. So let's get to business. Because this bowl is too small for me to use, so I'm going to be using a bigger bowl. I'm going to pour the oil here. You can see the amount of oil that goes into soap making. So when next you are pricing somebody's natural bar soap, so you know that there's a lot of things go into it. Look at the amount of oil that is going into it, and then the quantity of the light water that is here. So now I'm going to be adding the light water gently into the oil. I'm going to be adding it gently. I'm going to be adding it gently. Now I'm going to show you how it is. I'm stirring it. Can you see? At this stage, I'm not going to use my stick blender to mix the soap, because I've already achieved a trace. This is what we call a trace. You can see how it is. And why this traced faster is because of the hard oils that I'm using. The shea butter, the palm kernel oil, and the coconut oil. They are hard oils, so they tend to make your soap trace faster if you are using them. So now it's now on trace. So now, after you've done that, if you want to add your essential oil, this is time to add it. If you want to add your additives into your soap, this is time to add it. But I'm going to be using my fragrance oil, which is the strawberry fragrance oil. This is the Nature's Garden fragrance oil that I'm using. So I've measured the 2.5 grams. So I'm going to be adding it to my soap, because most times my clients like it when it is sweet fragrance. So I'm going to stir it into my soap. I'm going to stir it in. At this stage now, I'm going to get my mold. Now, there are different types of mold you can use. You have silicone mold, you have wooden mold. If you don't have silicone mold at this time, you can use a plastic bowl. Just make sure it is clean, and you can use it. Now, why I prefer silicone mold, though when I'm making large batches, I make use of wooden mold, but silicone mold helps to makes it easy for your soap to come out neatly from the mold, so you don't need to stress yourself. So now this is my mold. Let me remove this so that you'll be able to see it. This is my mold now. So as it is, I'm going to be pouring in the soap into the soap batter into the mold. Now why I'm using a tray is for easy carriage, because this is flexible. So I'm going to be pouring in the soap now. Need to arrange, I need to stabilize it flat. So since it's now in the mold, I'm going to cover its soap right now. Cover it with a tray so that it will be able to generate it, and then it will harden faster. Then leave it for 24 hours and then come back and remove the soap. Then I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay, so I'm back now after 24 hours, and the soap has hardened up, and I'm going to pop it out from the soap mold. So this is it. This is how the soap is. Now I'm going to explain some things. You can see how rough it is, but don't worry, I'm going to pop it out. And the beauty of the silicone mold is that it helps to, it gives your soap a neat and smooth soap. So, and it's easily removable from the soap, from the silicone mold. So now our soap is ready. And like I wanted to explain, now if you're selling this soap, you know that we can't sell this to someone, it looks shabby. So what we do is that we trim off the edges of the soap. So you just trim it off, call it shavings. But don't worry, these soaps now that we are shaving off is not going to be wasted, can still be used later. So I've trimmed it off now. You can see now it's better. And again, if I still want it to look smooth, I can just do it this way. And have a neat soap already. Now this soap that you're saying now, you are not going to use it immediately. You are going to be using it after 4 weeks. Why? Because we are going to leave it in a, I'm going to leave it in a tray like this now. I'm going to leave it in a tray and probably put it in my kitchen where there is air for it to cure. Like I've explained before, curing is a process where we allow the soap to properly form. Fine, it is formed already, but we allow the water moisture in the soap to dry off and all. So for the curing part, it takes 3 to most times take 3 to 4 weeks for your soap to be ready. So when you have it like this, after you've done it, you don't have to use it right now. So you leave it in the tray, allow it for 4 to 6 weeks, and then it's now ready for use or for sale. Now if you want to do it for sale, you can package your soaps in transparent nylons and then tie it with a ribbon and then put your label on it, and then it's ready for sale. If you are using it for home use too, you can then start using it after 4 weeks. Now this one that I've made, we are going to be using it in my house by my family. So obvious. So now I'm going to leave these soaps for 3 to 4 weeks and then allow it to cure and then start using. And then the fragrance is so beautiful. So like I said, there are so many ways you can use your soap. You can make your soap rather. You can even, this soap is a plain soap now. You can add your turmeric, you can add your neem powder, that's dongoyaro. You can add your additives to your soaps. It takes more I think that's advanced too, but for some of us that can do it, you can do it too. So this is our soap is ready. Hope you enjoy this class of soap making. Thank you so much for having me. Bye bye and see you. See, that's Natural Herbs.